What's up, spectators? Welcome back to the episode of Layton's Mystery Journey. I apologize for the weeks of no videos, but it's because I wasn't able to record everything I needed to before I left for the Christmas holiday. So I was back home for about a week, and then I got back, and I was like, oh, I can record now. And then I got sick. So another reason why I couldn't record. So I'm hoping, here on out, I'll have videos again. So Layton every other day, Danganronpa every other day, and then eventually adding back streams into the whole mix. So let's go ahead and pick up where we left off. We're looking for the missing papers of some person. I don't know. This is where I followed the cat to these roses again. And you caught the cat here. Well, I did pick it up in my arms, but it managed to wriggle free again. I obviously flustered it because it jumped straight through the open window inside the building. That one on the right. There, you mean? And did you go after it again? Well, I was worried it might damage something inside, so I climbed up to look through the window. But then I slipped and fell headlong inside myself. I don't know how you fall inside yourself, but that sounds pretty nasty. It's because of the beautiful roses still growing right next to the windowsill. I was being so careful not to trample them, I got myself into a funny position, and well, it made me go sort of oopsie-daisy right into myself again. Disgusting. And the room happens to be Dr. Ohm's. So you fell into Dr. Ohm's laboratory from the window with that ridiculous story you just told me. Do you expect me to believe? Exactly. It was simply an unfortunate accident that I ended up in there at all. Then, as I was rubbing myself, I had taken a knock. Someone who I presume was a student came into the room. The cat immediately shot out the open door and into the corridor before you could blink. Blah, 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 blah. This is a boring story! This is so boring! They thought I was a burglar. Blah, blah. Okay, so you reached the scene of the crime. I see how your movements this morning led you here now. Do you think you can prove my innocence? All I think I can prove at the moment is that you're incredibly unlucky. I think everyone knows that already. But you have had one stroke of luck today, Ernest. You met me. Don't worry, I'll work something out. Probably. I do hope you can, miss. Why don't we take a closer look at this window, which you managed to oops-a-daisy your way through? This one? Tammy, what are you getting all excited about? Shoo! This is the window, isn't it? The one by which the cat and then you entered the laboratory. Yes, it was an open slither and the cat squeezed through. All right then, let's follow in your footsteps and squeeze in as well. We can't do that, Miss Layton. Why? Because you can't just climb into rooms through windows. But if we're following in your footsteps, we have to. I understand, but we could get into trouble. More trouble. The police might start saying that you're a thief as well. I suppose you have a point. So what do you suggest? We go around and in through the main entrance? That seems a bit dull. I think dull might be for the best, miss. Just this once. Following in my earlier footsteps, we'd finally arrived at the scene of the crime. We would soon be in Dr. Ohm's laboratory where the truth behind this case would be revealed, or so I hoped. Oh, you're making me walk there myself. Okay. Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. Faster, on delay. Ah! Well, this place really hasn't changed at all. I've done it. I finally properly entered Grassenhella University. Not through a window, but actually through the front door. I think you might be alone in your excitement about this, Ernest. So let's find our way to Dr. Ohm's laboratory, shall we? Time is of the essence. Oi, you two! Oh no! This fucker! Who's him, eh? The cat's mother? It's Inspector Hastings to you, sunshine. Hello, I think we just saw your cat, actually. Is that why you're here? Have you lost it? Are you trying to be funny? I'm investigating the case, as you very well know. Yes, of course, the case of Dr. Ohm's stolen research papers. Have you discovered any new information? No, we haven't got any new leads yet. We're just Hang on, why am I telling you anything? Keep your nose out of police business. It's because you're a bad cop. I thought I had you there for a moment. You think I'd fall for a cheap trick like that? You'll be lucky. I thought I told you to go home back at the yard, didn't I? So what are you doing here? We're also investigating the case. I thought I could prove Ernest was innocent. Good luck with that. This lad here is the prime suspect. But I didn't do it. Oh. There's no point keeping up the pretense, sunshine. Ohm himself has made a statement saying he's sure you're the culprit. You're the only one who could have done it. He thinks I'm guilty too? Anyway, the prof's lab's off limits, From now on, no one goes in there without permission. We won't be able to. Very well. Good. I'm glad we understand each other. Now clear off. You're getting under my feet here. I suppose we'll just have to give up then. And Greeves, don't go off on any unannounced holidays, eh? We'll be wanting you down at the yard again before long. Could I just clarify something, Inspector? You said that people without permission weren't allowed into the laboratory, didn't you? So presumably if you had permission, you'd be granted entry. Obviously, but the prime suspect and unrelated members of the public aren't gonna get it. I'm in charge here, so what I say goes. Ho ho, I feel like a big boy. All very clear, thank you. Come along. Where are we going, miss? Just follow me and shut your mouth. A single woman living alone in London doesn't let little things like this stop them. All right then, I did say I trust you. I thought Inspector Hastings' appearance was going to put a stop to our investigation there and then, but Miss Layton wasn't giving up. She seemed to have a plan. I resolved again to put my faith in her and followed as she walked away. We're just gonna go through the window. I mean, come on. Where are we going, miss? We need to get permission to enter the lab. As it happens, I was coming here today to meet with someone who may be able to help us in that regard. I'm sure he'll say we're allowed into the lab. Really? But I thought Inspector Hastings was in charge. The problem is where to find him. Perhaps we should ask that detective over there if he's seen him. All right. We're after that runty little principal man. Excuse me, DC Hooker, could I ask you something? I wonder if you've seen Dean Del Mona around anywhere. Well, according to my notes here, I was also looking for him, it seems. I wanted to ask him some questions. But apparently, if my notes are to be believed, he was off campus. Oh dear, off campus. Do you happen to know where he's gone? To Scotland Yard, as far as I know, to meet with Inspector Hastings. But we just saw the inspector. They've obviously missed each other then. Yes, I'll just note that down. Well, it looks like we'll have to head back to Scotland Yard ourselves then. We have to find the dean. Now, this just seems unnecessary. So that's who you want to talk about gaining entry to Dr. Ohm's laboratory. I need to discuss some things with him. I can't believe you know the dean, Miss Layton. That's amazing. He's been the head of Grassenheller University for donkey's years, whatever the hell that means. He must be one of the most famous people in London. Actually, it's my father who knows the dean, really, not me. I'll explain some other time. For now, we must hurry back to Scotland Yard. You're quite right. We don't want to end up passing each other as well. So let's get a move on. Together, we hurried back to Scotland Yard. I was still rather bemused by Miss Layton's acquaintance with the dean. How did this young detective woman come to know one of the country's most preeminent scholars? Yes, yes. Now then, where is he? There he is. That's convenient. It really is him. Have you ever met him before? Never. At the welcoming ceremony, he was just a little dot up on the stage at the front of the hall. My palms are sweating, knees weak, arms are heavy. I mean, I am really about to meet the most important person in the whole of Grassenheller. No time for nerves. Come along. Oh, so disgusting. Would you look at him? Actually, it looks kind of like, you know, Elton John in another 50 years. You know, assuming he'll live that long. I'm sure he will. National treasure, all that. It's been a long time, hasn't it? Katrielle Layton, well, bless my cotton socks. It most certainly has been a long time. How are you? Very well, thank you. You haven't changed at all. Oh God, he's always looked like this? That's horrifying. How's your father? I haven't seen him in a while, actually, either. He's gone missing. They're looking into it here at Scotland Yard as it happens, but nothing yet. That's actually why I wanted to see you. Do you know where he might have gone? I have absolutely no idea. I'm terribly sorry, Katrielle. I wish I could be more helpful. Still, I wouldn't worry about old Hershel. Wherever he is, I'm sure he's perfectly fine. No doubt he'll show up again soon enough as if nothing had happened. Yes, I'm sure you're right. You know, I'm glad I bumped into you, actually. My granddaughter has just sent me another puzzle in the post, but I can't for the life of me see how to solve it. Would you mind having a look at it? I mean, when he became the dean of Gressenheller about 600 years ago, the standards were much lower. You know, you can tell he can't, solve anything. The professor has written a sum on the board, but it doesn't make any sense. It can apparently be fixed by adding a curvy line in one location, but which curvy line is the right one? Bear in mind that there is no need to rotate the line in question. You use it just how it is already displayed. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. What could it be? Oh, I see. Okay. So if you do 100 minus 4, it's 96, right? And you can actually tell, you can make a 96 by doing that and doing that. 96. Which is this. Shadaisy.
I see how to solve this now. And that's how it's done.
Yes. Of course, that's how it's done. Well, thank you, Katrielle. I won't have to disappoint my little angel now. What a relief. Glad to have been of assistance. I actually came down here to Scotland Yard to meet with Inspector Hastings, but I can't find the man anywhere. That's because he's at the university. You mean we just missed each other, did we? How irritating. I hear there's been an incident on campus. A theft? A nasty business. That's what I'd come to talk to the inspector about. I'd like to ask for your permission to investigate the case myself, Dean. You? I'll get to the bottom of it. But the police are already well underway with their own investigation. I'm aware, but I think perhaps a different perspective might be called for. I may be able to see things in a way that the police can't. All right then, I can't really see any harm in it. I'll allow it. If you have your father's crime-solving skills, no doubt you'll see to the heart of the matter in an instant. Thank you. So you'll permit us into the Dr. Ohm's laboratory? Yes, of course. You have free reign over the entire university for this, Katrielle. You're in charge. You're the dean. I'd like this cleared up as soon as possible. The reputation of the university will suffer if it drags on. That was Beezer! Whatever the hell that means. You were chatting with the dean as if you were old friends. And, more importantly, he's given us permission we need to investigate the laboratory. Hastings won't be able to turn us away now. No, he won't. So let's go back there and rub his extra large in it. So we'd managed to obtain the permission we needed to enter Dr. Ohm's laboratory and investigate. I was as perplexed as ever by Miss Layton, especially after the familiar tone she seemed able to adopt with Dean Del Mona. Now I gotta do this stupid thing over again? Oh. I like how we just got verbal proof, verbal permission. Didn't even get like a written note. Look, miss, there he is, Inspector Hastings. Not you two again. I've had just about enough of your sauce, all right? Whatever that means. You're not coming in here, that's final. Actually, it's not. We have permission to investigate in the laboratory now. In fact, we have permission to do whatever we deem necessary for our inquiries, like tamper evidence and kill you. Do you think I was born yesterday? Who gave you permission? Because it certainly wasn't me. Dean Delmona authorized it personally. Presumably you're not going to flout his authority? Dean Delmona said it was all right? Go on then, in you go. Thank you, Inspector. Come along, Ernest. Didn't even get proof? This makes no sense. I don't know what the Dean's playing at letting you clowns investigate. This is highly irregular. Even Inspector Hastings was powerless to stop us now that we had Dean Delmona's permission. I waited with bated breath to see what miraculous deductions Miss Layton would be able to make at the scene of the crime. This is it, miss. The research laboratory of the highly regarded Dr. Gene Ohm. So this is where the incident took place, and you got in here through that window over there, was it? That's right. That's the window I was peering in through, but I slipped and fell inside. With an oops-a-daisy, did I mention that? You did, and that's presumably Dr. Ohm over there. According to Inspector Hastings, he's accused you of the crime. I idolize the man, but he thinks I'm a criminal. Well, I think we should start by interviewing him. Oh. Excuse me? Who are you? I'm Katrielle Layton. Dean Delmona has given me permission to investigate the theft of your research papers. It's a disgrace, I tell ya. You're the young chap who took 'em. No, I assure you, I've been wrongly accused. What are you even doing here? Didn't they take you back to Scotland Yard? They did, but they had to let me go because they didn't have enough evidence to hold me. Clearly, Ernest here was acting suspiciously and did enter the laboratory through a window, but he's not the culprit. I intend to clear his name by finding the true thief and bringing him or her to justice. We'll need to make a thorough search of this laboratory in order to gather supporting evidence. I don't know what you think you'll be able to find, but if the Dean's given you his permission, I can't stop you. Be my guest, just don't upset any of my experiments. We'll try not to take too much of your time. There's a fine view of the rose bed out of the window. You've noticed the roses, have you? I'll say, they're simply spiffing. Aren't they? I often stop and gaze out the window with them. Who tends to the flowers, Dr. Ohm? I don't really know, to be honest. I hear some of the students manage the gardening around here. That's very impressive. Flowers like that take an awful lot of looking after. Yes, I should be thankful to the students, I suppose. Whenever I get a little fed up with my progress, I find those beautiful roses often cheer me up. So the view from your window helps you when you're writing papers, you mean? The view from the window... Dr. Ohm's desk is enviably tidy, isn't it? A far cry from a certain other Crescent-Heller professor, that's for sure. Never mind. It's just that you generally think of academics as being too engrossed in their work to care about keeping their things in order. I don't know what other academics you know, but I'll thank you not to tar me with the same brush. I didn't think you could hear me. How about you stop eavesdropping, you asshole? I'm clean and tidy by nature. I can't relax unless I have everything in order. It's really very simple. You put things away after you've finished using them, and you put rubbish in the bin. When you finish with documents, you dispose of them promptly. You can't write a coherent paper about anything if you're surrounded by mess. That's what I believe anyway, and that's why I always keep things neat and tidy. So that's how the great professor works. Fascinating. Okay. Oh, a farting. Would you mind if I asked you 1 or 2 questions? If you must. I'm a very busy man, you know. Tell me, why is it that you've accused Ernest of stealing your papers? For crying out loud, he was seen climbing in through the window. You don't need to be Einstein to figure it out. I'm sorry, Dr. Ohm, you're mistaken, idiot. That's right, you set him straight. Ernest has admitted entering the room through the window, but he didn't climb in. He fell in. With an oops-a-daisy. I don't think that's really relevant here, miss. Oh, really? But you kept mentioning it. I was in here just before you snuck through the window, and all my papers were accounted for then. I had an appointment, so I'd left the laboratory, but I made sure I locked the door on my way out. Then, just after you broke in, one of my students came and let himself in here with the spare key. He saw you in here, for goodness sake. And when I got back, the papers I'd left on my desk were gone. They can't have just disappeared into thin air, can they? Who else can be responsible but you? Just a moment, Dr. Ohm. You say you locked the door when you left the room. What about the window? Didn't you lock that? I remember now. I actually saw Dr. Ohm opening the window while I was standing and admiring the roses outside. The same window that the cat jumped in through. I don't remember. I intended to lock the window too, but... The point is, you don't expect people to sneak in through windows. The fact that you did that proves you're up to no good. I don't think there's anything you could say to him at the moment that would change his mind, Ernest. We'll just have to find irrevocable proof. I suppose so. Well, now that I've had a look around the laboratory for myself, have you managed to find the evidence we need, miss? I find that your actions are more and more suspicious, Ernest. Oh no. Not really. I was just pulling your leg. I nearly fainted. Still, I can't find anything that really proves your innocence. For the time being, you'll still be considered a suspect, I'm afraid. We need to find something that points to the true culprit. Just something. This is a real problem, this is. What's wrong? I've been trying to carry on with this paper despite my important documents having been stolen. But without them to refer to, I'm lost. I can't make head nor tail of what's written here. Would you let me have a look? Why would he do that? But you're the thief! Well, why not? The way things are at the moment, it couldn't get any worse. Oh yeah? Well, we'll steal these papers too. This is what's giving me the trouble, you see. The letters on the left have been transformed into the symbols on the right. Okay. Using the same rule, what symbol would the bottom letter turn into? Choose from the 4 possible options. So it's not as simple as just flipping it upside down. Uh-huh. Some sort of flipping? Hold on. I really don't see any pattern here. You can try flipping it, rotating it, cutting it. I still don't see exactly how it's supposed to look. But thankfully, this is one of those where you can kind of just guess and see if we can figure it out. So what would an X most likely turn into? Boop.
So in conclusion...
Well, I did only have a 25% chance of getting it right. What about? Come on, come on.
I have a feeling that perhaps...
Ha! I'm some
Still
kind of
not Ernest Layton,
genius!
of course.
Glad I solved it so professionally. Now what the hell is this? Oh, you... Wait. Ah, okay. Ooh, man. Okay. Ooh, that hurts my head just to visualize. That makes sense now. What did you say your name was again? Ernest Greeves, was it? Very impressive. If you weren't a thief, you'd have a promising future ahead of you. I didn't steal anything. Doesn't make any difference who did it now. Tomorrow's the deadline for the paper submission anyway. It does make a difference because someone's going to jail, you idiot. Man, you suck. Everyone sucks. Oh, golly, that's a pickle. You're telling me. I was due to finish it off today, but that was before my documents were pinched. It's no use. Without that data, I can't write another word. The whole world is watching and waiting to see what I publish next? Okay. No, I don't think so. Delusions of grandeur. But I'm not going to be able to... Okay, I don't care. I don't care. Ah, okay. Well, it sounds like we're just about to wrap up the case because we're going to get the final clue. So why don't we end this video here at around 25 minutes or so. So stay tuned for the next episode, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye.